This little book is pretty powerful and lays out something that's taken me about 10 years of trial and error to figure out through my own copywriting business and freelance business. It lays out the power of sharing what you're doing, what you're working on with the world. And just sharing things the way that you yourself have experienced them without dressing them up or trying to make yourself look like a genius or something that you're not. Being comfortable putting yourself out there and doing it in a way that's genuine, that doesn't seem self-motivated or spammy. Basically, there's stuff in this book that I think can help people grow much more successful freelance service-based businesses. For example, the first concept that I think is really helpful that this book talks about is the idea that you don't have to be a genius. It kind of lays things out in a way where, throughout history, people kind of have this idea of geniuses where they're kind of working on all their genius stuff in private for years and years and years, and then poof, they release it to the world, everyone's amazed, and they get all this recognition. But the reality is that this is kind of rarely the case, and these geniuses that are so good at the things they're good at usually get good at it by interacting in social circles with other people, like-minded people, or people who share similar interests. And that's really a fine thing to do. There's no harm in being an amateur as you work on your skills in anything and build your way up, just like there's no harm in being an amateur or novice freelancer. Doing things like sharing your experiences with other freelancers, chatting, helping each other, and trying to grow together, trying to build our skill sets together as freelancers. That's actually one of the reasons why I host a Discord community for people to do that, to kind of become geniuses together, become masters at their crafts together. Another really powerful concept that's laid out in this book that's kind of obvious once you kind of realize it and hear it is the ability to tell good stories. Now, I don't mean good stories in the sense that anyone watching this needs to drop what they're doing, go enroll in a creative writing course, and become amazing storytellers. That's not at all what I mean. But learning how to tell good stories about you, your services, your skills, your experience, your journey to where you are now, and using that to add color to people's perception around why they should consider hiring you as a freelancer. Doing that can really add value. Value that helps people feel like they're making the right choice in hiring you. Value that helps you make more money doing what you do. This book, Show Your Work, does a really good job kind of illustrating this concept of being able to tell good stories and how that can kind of change people's perception of value. So the story goes, there are two identical paintings sitting on a wall side by side in an art gallery. They're identical. You go up to the paintings and you're looking at both, trying to figure out what the difference is. You really love the paintings. You become infatuated with them, but you really have no clue what the differences are, and you're trying to spot those differences. You end up falling in love with these paintings and you want to learn more about them. And let's say a museum attendant or an art gallery administrator, someone walks by and you ask them about the paintings. You find out that one of the paintings was painted in the 17th century by some Dutch master, and that the other painting was just some random forgery done last week by an art student. That tiny little bit of story immediately makes most people gravitate towards the painting done by the Dutch master. Do that with your own stuff, your own skills, your own services, and it'll make the whole process of telling your story and selling that story to the masses a whole lot easier. The last super helpful tidbit from Show Your Work that I think can really benefit freelancers is the section about not becoming human spam. Reading this section, I actually laughed quite a few times because it applies to so many of the newer freelancers that I talk to on a regular basis. There's a line in the book, "You want hearts, not eyeballs." And this applies so well to freelancers. This applies to you if you're just shoving the link to your Fiverr profile on every website, every blog, every YouTube comment section to try to get as many eyeballs as possible to your Fiverr gigs. Odds are that's not really working for you, right? You want hearts, not eyeballs. Instead of just spamming your link everywhere, actually put in the time to engage with the community. Leave comments that are thoughtful and adds value to the conversation. Actually be interested in communicating, not just spamming your freelance links. I know it seems like this is just going to take so much time, and it will. It's a long-term strategy. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Strive for hearts, not eyeballs. You can learn some great lessons about that and show your work. Anyway, this book is great. I've had it on my shelf back there for years, and occasionally I'll skim through it, and every time I skim through it, I pick up another lesson or a refresher on an old lesson, or just, a different angle, a different perspective of something I've read in this book many times in the past. So if you want to kind of pick this up, I'll put an affiliate link in the description of this video. If you have questions about it, let me know. Great book, show your work. I think there are a couple great lessons in here for freelancers. Anyways, that's it for today. Hope this helps.